Okay, it is 5:59. We're just waiting for the clock to go around, the second hand to go around a couple times. The meeting is being recorded. And we have tick tock, tick tock. I'm sure I'll get in trouble if I start the meeting before exactly 6 o'clock. So I'll just make small talk. It's 6 o'clock. Okay, let the meeting begin. Present in the room this evening are Michelle Miller, the chair, Katrina Fitzpatrick, who is our clerk this evening. She's taking notes, and Hillel Maximum. And you better ask him how to spell it to make sure we get it right. Let's see. So I'm calling the meeting to order. I have named the attendees. I've announced that it's being recorded. We have no minutes to approve this evening, and I'm just going to read the agenda. After I state the rules of participation, I will begin following the agenda, which is that we will tonight review the open meeting law complaints that have not been fully addressed. That would be the complaint by John Silbert of dated 6/4, the complaint of John Silbert dated 7/6, and the complaint of Rebecca Wolin dated 7/16. Then we can discuss the missing minutes from prior to this board, this committee. So there's actually only 2 sets still missing, so we're making progress. And as I said, we have no minutes to approve because all eyes have been answering these open meeting law complaints. Just generally, I'm going to be running a meeting as described in the open meeting law publication that I have, which says that it does not require public bodies to allow comment or public participation during meetings. To the contrary, the open meeting law specifies that nobody shall address the public body without permission of the chair. The manner that public bodies may choose to accept comment or questions is outside the scope of the open meeting law. So I would like to focus on our agenda tonight. There will be no opportunity for comment from anyone participating, as far as I'm concerned, because this is simply a review. And the one vote that we do have to take is, and if I'll find the piece of paper that says, pardon me while I get a little disorganized. This is from the AG's office. With regard to responding to the complaint, this one is unusual since it was filed by a member of the Finance Committee against the Finance Committee. The public body, that would be us, and John if he were here, the public body is required to meet to review the complaint. This does not necessarily require a substantive discussion of the allegations, just a review, and then must send a response. Typically, the public body votes to authorize a particular individual to respond. If the Finance Committee is in disagreement and can't pass a vote to authorize you to respond, then you should just respond as best you can. Note that an open meeting law complaint is considered to be against the public body as a whole. And if we find a violation, it is a violation by the public body. It is rare that we attribute a violation to a specific individual. Therefore, the response does usually come from or on behalf of the full public body. For the sake of the new arrival, which is John, I will repeat what I read previously, that for the purposes of this meeting and all meetings going forward, we are not required to allow public comment or public participation during meetings. To the contrary, the open meeting law specifies that nobody shall address the public body without permission of the chair. So I have spoken to the agenda, which included a review of the open meeting law complaints we have received. I'm sorry, I have to repeat this. And those complaints are from Silbert 6.4, Silbert 7.6, and Wolin 7.16. These, the response that I have prepared needs only to be voted on that I would like to make a motion, or would you like to make a motion, Katrina? I would like to be empowered to send the response as described by in the section that I was just reading.
I'll make a motion.
Okay, do we have a second?
I'm not gonna
Okay,
respond
there's
by
no,
all
I'm
complaints.
just taking, I will second the motion. So then in that case, by roll call, we can vote on whether I am in fact designated as the person to make the response. Would you like to go first?
I'm sorry, I'm confused. Did you make a motion to submit your response to the state? or
No,
just-
I made a motion. I asked Katrina to make a motion to allow a vote to designate me to be the person to make the response.
Nice.
Is that complicated enough for you? So where were we? I might have to play the recording. Excuse me. So the rules that apply to participation on the, by those attending on Zoom would apply to us as well, I hope, which is to raise your hand to be acknowledged by the chair. I don't know if I'm doing this right, but would you like to call for a vote on the motion to appoint me to be the person to send? Okay, so,
I will call for a vote to make a motion for Michelle.
well, actually, it's a vote to designate me as the person to do the response. Not the motion, we already made the motion. I'll second that motion.
Okay. All right, I'll make a vote to designate Michelle to submit the response. Correct?
I will vote yes, you will vote,
Saying,
and John is abstaining. Do you want to make a note of that? All right, so the review is simply for the purposes of informing you of what you have just voted to allow me to do. You want to see this, John? No, you probably don't. Because you should get it with the, on the 20th, which is the day that it's due. And since you have no interest in, or no ability to change it, as does nobody, I will just read it for the purposes of the minutes. 8/17/21, to whom it may concern, response to Silbert 6.4 and 7.6, and Wolin 7.15, open meeting law complaints. From this second paragraph is from the AG's office, a 7/30/21 email. And that's the paragraph that I was reading when John entered. And my response is Silbert complaint 6.4, scheduling, alerting members of the finance committee that an announced meeting was not of our making, nor would we attend, was necessary. The explanation entirely factual on each point. The assessor statements to me were transmitted to the committee. Agenda item added. Silbert complaint 7.6, violation number 1, providing copies of the open meeting law complaint and responses for review purposes only. There would be no deliberation or amendment as it is a settled matter. Yes or no vote not to include complainer to approve respondent. Violation number 2, providing an updated agenda and schedule for next meeting does not constitute a deliberation, notwithstanding the informal style. Chair had not yet received confirmation from AG as to whether agenda was insufficient. Former Chair Rebecca Wolin's interpretations of the law have not always been correct. Example 615 and 715. Violation number 3 and 4, there was no July 25th meeting. Silbert has credited me with more than I deserve. As you are aware, I have been in contact with your office repeatedly seeking clarity on these issues. I am currently enrolled in the upcoming open meeting law training in September and will encourage committee members to attend as well. We can all benefit from a unified understanding of the law in practice. As of today, 8/17, I'm withdrawing previous response made on June 24th as it was approved at a meeting deemed illegal. All of the open meeting law complaints are on the agenda for our 8/17/21 meeting for review. From the Office AG 7/30/21 email, and I quote, since Mr. Silbert points out that meetings of the Finance Committee were held on July 13th and 22nd, is there a reason the July 6th open meeting law complaint wasn't able to be discussed during either of these meetings? At the July, and this is my response. At the July 13th, 2021 meeting of the Finance Committee, Silbert refused to vote on transfers or conduct any business without the presence of our third and newest member, Katrina Fitzpatrick. See attached letter to Select Board sent without consultation as representing the Finance Committee. Whereas on July 7th, 2020, Silbert did vote and conduct business at a meeting in spite of the absence of the third and newest member, myself, Michelle Miller. Because of his refusal in this instance, an emergency meeting had to be called to fulfill the town's financial obligations at the end of the fiscal year. The meeting on July 15th, 2021 is itself the subject of an open meeting law complaint filed by Rebecca Wolin, former chair, see attached, with relevant correspondence and emails. Wolin's assertions as to chair's decisions and capabilities are without merit. I posted the meeting at 8:03, although emergency meetings are exempt. Transfers voted on at the meeting were received after the July 6, 2021 meeting and are listed below. Emily Johnson, another open meeting law complainer, see attached, objected to considering 2 transfers listed as they had only been received on 7/6 and were not on the agenda, another misunderstanding of the law. July 22nd meeting was called at the request of the town administrator to approve transfer of insurance coverage under estimate, which would have resulted in a loss of a discount. Silbert did not attend. I have sought advice of town council and senior town officials. On 2 occasions, I requested Silbert's assistance with procedure and offered to step aside so that he could take on the job. He declined both requests. I have diligently tried to return the focus of the Finance Committee to the town's business and been stopped, ridiculed, and condescended to and harassed by the complainers. It's ironic that the time spent answering these charges could have been better spent attending to the serious economic issues facing us. Michelle Miller, Monterey Finance Chair. Attachments, open meeting law complaints, all 3 of them. Silbert letter to Select Board, Wolin emails to Chair, transfers voted on 7/13. And that, there you have it. So that is the response which will make the case for the Finance Committee, since I unfortunately represent the Finance Committee. Looking for my agenda. That will be sent on Friday, I believe is the 20th. On to the issue of the missing minutes. We've got it down to 10/22/20 October and 3/24/21. Since I've been able to determine that some of the meetings from last year were canceled, and some of the meetings from this year are, of course, the subject of our discussion tonight. So we're going to write a letter to the former chair asking once again for those 2 dates, 10/22/20 and 3/24/21. I'd like to make a motion to adjourn.
Supposed to be heard and discussed.
No, I don't have to recognize anyone.
You have to recognize your own board members.
I don't have to recognize anybody. Well, if you got here on time, you would have heard me read it.
No, I said, are you sure of that?
I will read it to you. The open meeting law specifies that nobody shall address the public body without permission of the chair.
Yeah, that's other than the public body itself. We are the public body.
Would you like me to recognize you?
Yes.
I recognize you for a very short period of time, because I know that you do go on, John.
I'm not gonna say anything. I'm asking you, I have a letter in response to an email you sent on June 4th, which is full of errors and misinformation. I emailed it to both of you.
I have that. Didn't you send it to me last week?
No.
Oh, you've been
Just
busy.
sent it to you.
Oh.
And so if you don't want to discuss the that's fine. Just put it
No,
on the
I
agenda
don't
for
want to
next week.
discuss it tonight.
Put it on the agenda for our next meeting.
Please.
Please. That's it, I'm done.
Good. I make a motion, we adjourn. All those in favor? Aye. Hello. Would you like to have a conversation?
Is it just you and me?
No, it's Hillel Maximum and Katrina, but our meeting is not in session, so I think I'll stop the recording, okay? I'll see you at dinner time.
Is that your husband?
Yes, he was there till the bitter end.